Hello everybody, it's Johnny here from CryptoClear, and in this video we're going to cover the Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund, or the Bitcoin ETF. More specifically, is the Bitcoin ETF a sign for the top of the crypto asset market? So let's get right into it. So regarding the top of the market, so this is courtesy of Pantera Capital, and as you can see here, this is the Bitcoin rally heading into major launches. We have CME Bitcoin futures, which the launch date was the 17th of December 2017. Make sure to keep that date in mind. Then we had the Coinbase direct listing this year on the 14th of April. And now we have the Bitcoin ETF, which will launch today, Tuesday, the 19th of October 2021. So for now, just keep in mind the date, the 17th of December 2017, and we'll dive into this shortly. However, you should note that this exchange-traded fund, which is by ProShares, this isn't an exchange-traded fund that is backed by actual Bitcoin. It even says right here, the fund does not invest directly in Bitcoin. Many people believe that this is the case, when in fact it is not. Instead, it is backed by futures tied to Bitcoin. There should be a physical Bitcoin ETF to come. The Winklevoss twins, who many people know from the disaster with Facebook, from the film The Social Network, were the first to apply for one actually back in 2013, when Bitcoin was trading just below $1,000. This Bitcoin ETF, which is going live today, is currently a less efficient method of owning Bitcoin. Personally, I wouldn't touch it. I would rather just custody the Bitcoin myself. And for this reason, there's just simply a spot ETF needed for Bitcoin. There is clear demand there from both retail investors and institutional investors that have cash sitting on the sidelines to allocate towards these spot ETFs, but there just isn't one right now which is in existence. So definitely there'll be one, I would say, over the next couple of months, or at least over the next couple of years, which is a spot ETF rather than a futures ETF. And so before we look into the effect of a Bitcoin ETF, we're just going to touch back on the 17th of December 2017. So I'll just switch to Bitcoin. Each of these candles represents one day. And so what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out, and then we're going to zoom in. So we've got the 17th of December 2017, which is right here, which was the top of the Bitcoin market. And the 17th of December was the same date that CME Bitcoin futures went live. And this was the top of the market in the 2017 cycle. As you can see here, it looks pretty insignificant compared to the price we are now, or the value we are at now per Bitcoin rather. But you always must consider that this ETF could be the top of the market. I'm not ruling it out, but again, that's just my own risk tolerance with crypto. I just continue to buy on a weekly basis via my investment plan. Whether it goes up or down doesn't affect me at all, because I don't have any plans to pull any of my crypto out for at least 10 years, or at least 5 to 10 years, sorry. However, of course, this will have an impact on you if you want to be in Bitcoin, for example, for a year and then get out, which again, I wouldn't recommend because this is a brand new asset class. So now I'm just going to go over a chart here. These are other ETFs incoming. I'll not go over all of them, but we'll have the likes of Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF, which is for next week. We of course have Vanek Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Galaxy Bitcoin Strategy ETF. You may recognize a few of these. And sorry, it's not that they'll be going live next week, it's a potential approval date. And down here, the right hand side are the odds of getting approved first. Of course, ProShares won that. This was courtesy of Bloomberg. So just to summarize this up, a Bitcoin ETF, what are the benefits of this Bitcoin ETF? Well, first is public accessibility. So for obvious reasons, accessibility has been a huge talking point for crypto as a whole, because many people don't even know how to buy it, how to custody it safely and securely in cold storage. There's just a complete smoke and mirrors around how to successfully purchase Bitcoin, and most importantly, safely purchase Bitcoin rather. And in this case, Bitcoin to be adopted needs easy accessibility, and user interface needs to be improved across the board to access Bitcoin. This is of course being done by many crypto asset exchanges, but there are many investors who crave for an ETF, and many will buy into this futures Bitcoin strategy ETF. However, many will sit in the sidelines as it is not a spot ETF. Next, we have pensions. So 17% of Americans own Bitcoin, whereas 75% of Americans have retirement accounts, and there's an absolute ton of money in those retirement accounts rather, and Bitcoin is just waiting for a slice of that pie. Will this Bitcoin strategy ETF take some of that pension money? I believe so, and again, even more when the spot ETF comes about. And finally, we have the public opinion and sentiment on the Bitcoin strategy ETF from ProShares. So over time, crypto itself has slowly gained more trust in broader society, but it still has a long way to go. To me, it's a certainty. Bitcoin and crypto assets, blockchain technology, NFTs are here to stay. However, many do not believe this, and it is very hard to convince people. It's really, you have to get into it, study it, analyze it, and decide for yourself. I sort of see it the way the internet was back in the early 2000s. Those that slept on it obviously regretted it. And so this Bitcoin strategy ETF from ProShares will only help solidify Bitcoin and other crypto assets as an investment class. This is just obvious for the fact that ETFs hold a kind of prestige and respect by investors of all types. And this will of course lend credibility to Bitcoin and other crypto assets. There'll also be many other exchange traded funds which of course will come about probably over the coming months, more likely the coming years actually, in relation to Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, the list goes on. And of course this is extremely exciting for an investor and a trader like me in the crypto asset market. So just to answer the question, is the Bitcoin ETF a sign for the top of the crypto asset market? On the basis of probabilities, I would say no, it is not a sign of the top of the crypto asset market. However, on the basis of probabilities, you cannot rule this out. As you can see here, on the 17th of December was the date that CME Bitcoin futures went live. Everybody was predicting that this would catapult Bitcoin to over 100K. At the time, it was just touching in and around 20. And this ended up being the top of the Bitcoin cycle and the crypto asset market cycle at that time. So never ever rule it out. Leave your mind open to both possibilities and make a reasoned decision based on your individual circumstances. So with me, I'm happy to leave my crypto that I'm investing in for the next 5 to 10 years in the market, whether it goes sky high or down low. If anything, if it was to dip, I would see it as a good thing because I could get even more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, the list goes on, for a cheaper price. I'll get more coins or tokens for the fiat that I would put in to the crypto assets. And just to finish this video off, we actually done a video yesterday, or sorry, it was the day before, and it was a video on is it too late for you to invest in crypto assets and have you missed the boat? We run through how we turned $1,000 in a practical example. We actually invested more than $1,000 to over $17,000 in just 6 months via our Crypto Clear investing plan. You should definitely check out this video. And again, there's everything here to do with the membership and also consultations. So you should definitely check that out. And what you should also do as well, just before we conclude this video, is sign up to our free newsletter, which can be found in the homepage. I'll just bring you to it right now. So you'll just click on home, scroll down, and just put in your name and your email and sign up. And you'll be able to stay up to date with the 1% of crypto asset news, which is relevant to you as an investor, trader, and NFT collector. and also developments at CryptoClear. So thank you very much for listening to this video, and of course if you have any questions, please check out our frequently asked questions page here, and if you have any additional questions which are not covered there, please contact me via email at info@crypto-clear.co.uk, or I would prefer this, as I'm sure many of you would, just contact me on whatever socials you're listening to this video on. It really is exciting times ahead in the crypto asset market, and again, thank you very much for listening to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.